Hello, hello, welcome or welcome back. Peace, world, peace. First and foremost, welcome or welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks, aka the Trillion Dollar Goddess, aka the Queen of Info. And I know I'm the Queen of Info because of you, the one, especially some of y'all in my chat, man. So listen, we're in week 8 of this trial during day 2 of jury deliberations. I think they said we're in week like hour 10 total. And we are on verdict watch, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to just talk and hope something comes in by the time this live ends. Okay, we're talking East Coast time. And I know they're ahead of me 3 hours. So they have till 5 p.m. daily. And we're hoping they come to this verdict. So I'm going to give this thing a minute to work itself out, this algorithm thing. If you're brand new here, welcome and hang out for this experience. We're going to talk. We're going to get into the things that are happening today in the trial, going into the courtroom. Also, if you're in the replay, you can hang out. I'm going to play a little bit of music or skip ahead 6.5 minutes or so, and I will meet you there. But if you're in the chat, if you're a chosen one, a warrior, you know what it is. I appreciate your patience. We're going to be right back and do this thing that we do. Yeah, but I'm going to play, we're going to start with I Need Everything, okay? JTA featuring PJ Corleone with a K, my favorite.
I got 20/20 vision and a pot to pissing. Coming for your dinner with my juice, with my chicken. I need everything. I've been hungry for the start. I need everything. From the juice, from the car. I need everything. I need everything. But let's see, I go YSL, get offended things. I need everything. I need everything. Not a little, not a lot. I mean everything. I need diamonds on my wristwatch. Two-tone AP with the big rocks. $500,000 on my neck, 6-figure on the dot. Hey, time to cut the check. I need Fendi, I need Gucci, yeah, that ball game. I need 20, 50s, 100s, yeah, that ball game. Going stupid in the lamb with the top down. I've been running for a decade, I won't stop now. No price sticker, rockin' ball main, ice dripper. Licking on me, shorty, know it, I'm a nice tipper. You be creeping on the gram, bitch, I get her. Yeah, she fucking with a boss, I'm a fly. Feeling like I'm Biggie, better give me the loot. Feeling like I'm Bishop, better give me the juice. Came in riding in the Metro, about to leave in a coupe. You can miss me with the bull, boy, don't get it confused. I got 20/20 vision and a pot to pissing. Coming for your dinner with my juice, with my chicken. I need everything. I've been hungry for the start. I need everything. From the juice, from the car. I need everything. I need everything. But let's see, I go YSL, get offended things. I need everything. I need everything. Not a little, not a lot. I mean everything.
Point the pistol at him, take the money out the register. New bitch look like Sierra, it's apparent I done leveled up. No Yavis, it's Ferrari, pusher started when I rev it up. My slimey's right behind me and beside me, fuck a fair one, huh? You gon' get it, ho, if you don't give me everything. Married to the game, flipped a rock and bought a wedding ring. Shit that I be rocking out of stock, on top I better be. If I ever flop, I'm blocking pockets out your pair of jeans. Look, don't stare at me, spend everything on Beverly. Rather there's a nigga out there spitting who ain't scared of me. Invited me, I missed it, hit DK, she do the scheduling. My exes all regret it, bitch, I'm on the big and better things. I need everything, hey, ring and a chain. Hey, drinking every leaf, I roll up full of Mary Jane. Harry girl, I hit to be a 10 with friends and everything. Hit up JTA like, what's the play? And he said, hey,
I got 20/20 vision and a pot to pissing. Coming for your dinner with my juice, with my chicken. I need everything. I've been hungry for the start. I need everything. From the juice, from the car. I need everything. I need everything.
Yeah. Okay, we need another minute or so. We count down. We are counting down. Don't go nowhere. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. You know, that's how Diddy feeling right about now. They trying to shoot me out the sky. I'm telling my mama not to worry. But of course, that's P. Corleone with a K out the Our Father 3 mixtape. Shout out to him. I see you in the chat. Right on time. Your ears must have been burning. But I do want to say what's up to everybody. Michelle, yes. Michelle. Absolutely. Wow, Wayne. Thank you for being here as always. The Black Letter Law. Yes. Okay, Juti. I'm hoping it's verdict day, child. I'm overly ready. Nia X, hey now. Yeah. Baby Yoda. Thank you for the bell. Hey, what's up? Hey, Trav. So good to be back. And of course, again, P. Corleone. Shout out to you. So let's see. What we're going to get into today is what happened in court, what's still happening. When I first came on just a few minutes ago, I saw a new update, and I think there was another note from the jurors. We're going to get into all that. I'm going to be on X because people are still in that courtroom and they're live tweeting, and we are here for it. But we know that Diddy and his lawyers, his team of lawyers, are said to have been going through it emotionally today with these different juror questions. It's a little bit worrying, I think, to the defense more so than prosecution. But the prosecution, again, probably also wondering what could they have done more or better, because I don't know that this might be the slam dunk that they wanted. Oh, thank you, Juti. Talented young man. All right, y'all. So, I don't know if you feel the same way. I've been watching and listening to different reports, getting different people's perspectives. I have to say, as some of the conclusions people have come to at the end of this trial, we're talking 7 weeks testimony and arguments and all types of different testimony of witnesses that we're dealing with, all the way. We're talking psychiatrists, forensic psychiatrists, the S workers, to, I had something come in my head. I'm not going to say it, but this would be day 34, I suppose, should you count all the days. I only count the days of arguments and testimony. So technically it's jury deliberations, but it is week 8. I'm going to start with P. Diddy trial updates. She said she was running late with this morning, but she said there's fewer people in court today and that Sean Combs was dressed in a white sweater. White today, y'all. Janice Combs was also in court, silently watching proceedings as usual. So she was probably first to get there. I'm pretty sure the other family members, if they weren't there then, because this was 6 hours ago, that they have shown up by then. She continues to say that today's session is mainly about the second note the judge received yesterday from the jury. It was the question about the charges concerning distribution of controlled substances. The judge said, I'm adopting the government's response to the jury's question about drug or narcotic distribution. In response to the jury's question, I will be sending the following note. The court refers to the jury to page 37, lines 1 through 3 of its jury charge. The word distribution means actual, constructive, or attempted transfer. To distribute simply means to deliver or pass over or to hand over something to another person or to cause it to be delivered, passed on, or handed over to another. Distribution does not require a sale. Combs' attorney Driscoll says, can we place something on the record regarding sole possession? And the judge says this definition of distribution could mislead the jury. The Driscoll says, but the judge says, hold on. Both parties previously agreed to this definition without objection. So what's the issue now? Driscoll says, just a moment. Comey says, they're trying to mislead the jury. Straight up. Comey is not playing. The judge says this is the clearest, most accurate response, and it aligns with what was already given to the jury. Driscoll says, then may we mark our defense proposal as a court exhibit? The judge says yes. See, they want to put it on record for their appeal. Court has been adjourned, at this point. Says Sean Combs went to tell his mother it'll be all right before he was let out. Now, Inner City Press reported something slightly different from what I remember. I'm just going to switch over real quick. Let's see. He says that it starts out with the judge saying, Ms. Comey, can we make sure that things have been mailed out in, the things that have been emailed in are put in the docket? I'm adopting the government's answer, as she said as well, to the narcotics distribution question. Then Driscoll jumps in and says what he says. And then Comey says they're trying to mislead the jury. The judge says they have been specific in their question, and so is this answer. Okay, the judge agrees to marking that as an exhibit. Okay. So at 10:26 a.m., they came back with another note. Another note has emerged from the jury. It is yet to be read out in court, nor has Sean Combs been brought back in from the holding cell. For now, lawyers are milling around. Combs' lawyer, Shapiro, Driscoll, Steele, Ignifilo, etc., all hunched over laptop. So at 10:44 a.m., as Ignifilo, Shapiro, Steele, and Westmoreland huddle back by gallery, Prosecutor Comey turns and confers with Combs' Xavier Donaldson, seated at the middle table. Door holding the cell half opens, U.S. Marshal checking to see if it's time to bring Sean Combs out. At 10:46 a.m., Sean Combs has been brought out, and his lead lawyer, Mark Ignifilo, is talking with him. Shapiro and Westmoreland are working together on something on Shapiro's laptop. At 10:54 a.m., Prosecutor Emily Johnson goes back and hands a piece of paper over to Sean Combs' lawyers. AUSA Comey goes and sits next to Combs' attorney, Xavier Donaldson, and shows him something on her laptop. At 11:18 a.m., the judge says, we received a note from the jury asking for testimony of Cassandra Ventura as to the Intercontinental and Cannes incidents and the Daniel Phillip Essex Hotel incident. Daniel Phillip's testimony on that as well Prosecutor Comey says we have a disagreement. The judge says, first, let me know if either side minds me out and speaking to them. Comey says, we don't see a need. Agnifilo says, I've conferred with Mr. Combs and we don't see a need either. The judge says, as to any future note, let me know. They don't want that jury getting disturbed. They don't even want to see the jury's face till they have that answer. Clearly. I'm actually surprised the defense didn't say, yeah, bring him out. So Prosecutor Johnson says we have a disagreement about the redirect, about the cans incident and the events immediately following. The answer was to what happened when Sean was angry. It referred to the freak off that occurred upon landing in New York. The judge says, I would like to likely cut it off sooner. Garrigo says, I have nothing to add. Johnson says, we may need to speak with the court about the Intercontinental. The judge says, let my deputy know when you're ready and I'll come back. And then he adjourns. At 11:58 a.m., the judge comes back and says, I understand there is an issue to resolve. Comey says, I understand that during the break, the defense came up with an issue about Daniel Phillip. Xavier Donaldson says, U.S. wants one more question and answer in that we do. It's his later thoughts. Comey says, the answer is about the Essex Hotel incident. Johnson says, on the Intercontinental Hotel incident, we think it's the day of and after, not the days before. That's our position. The defense wants to include Ms. Ventura's IG post of 2024. Garrigo says, we did include several messages after the Intercontinental incident where they are talking about it. It's regarding the incident. It's important to weighing whether Mr. Combs coerced Ms. Ventura into commercial sex on that date. The judge says the request was for Ms. Ventura's testimony regarding the Intercontinental incident. How does something from 2024 regard it more than things closer in time? Garrigo says in 2024, she was responding to the video of the incident and also watching it here. Johnson says she was asked, do you recall posting on Instagram in May of 2024? She wrote that domestic violence is the issue, but that's not what the jury is asking about. We'd like more in about the can incident. Garrigo says, we think we should start with the first government exhibit about the Intercontinental freak-off. Johnson says, if we could get the laptop back, we could load a searchable PDF. The judge says, I agree, some earlier and later messages should be given. What's left? Johnson says, we'd like to include the photos she took of her injuries and the message from March 5th. The judge says, Ms. Garrigo, don't those fall into the same category? What would be the objection? Garrigo says, I have to mainly maintain my objection to the photos. Johnson says, we do not think her testimony about her Instagram post is relevant. We think it's confusing. It's confusing. The judge says, I think it can be included. Both sides have reviewed. We'll proceed on this basis. And then he adjourns. Okay. That was, how long ago was that? 4 hours. Okay, he says at 4:15 p.m., after a long lull, now Combs and Agnifilo, Steele, and Shapiro are back in the courtroom. Meanwhile, the U.S. Attorney's Office belated docketed emails to the judge. After Inner City Press's request, they were told to do so at latest at the end of each week, but he posts this email. Looks like it's a redacted email. At 4:19 p.m., he says, AUSA hands a piece of paper to Combs and Agnifilo, who passed it on. Driscoll confers with Westmoreland. Sean Combs will not be brought into the courtroom from the holding cell. At 4:21 p.m., Sean Combs is brought in, stands with his hands in his pockets as Agnifilo speaks to him. His other lawyers come in, huddle around him. He sits down. Okay, this might be. Let me switch this picture, child. Right, where's the picture of him sitting around with his lawyers? This is what this sounds like. Sean Combs is sitting surrounded by his 8 lawyers who are talking. He's looking down, his hands crossed on his lap. At 4:27 p.m., Sean Combs, with rubbing his eyes, one with his thumb, the other with his index finger. His lawyers continue talking. Now Nicole Westmoreland to Xavier Donaldson. At 4:30 p.m., McNiffalo goes forward, then returns and hands Sean Combs the piece of paper. He stares at it. After talking to Agnifilo, Sean Combs looks down again, resting his head in his right hand. We have received a note at 4:05 p.m. today. This is the judge. It reads, we have reached a verdict. What? We have reached a verdict on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are unable to reach a verdict on count 1 as we have jurors on each side. How should we respond? Comey says we are preparing a modified Allen charge. Ignifilo says we propose you tell them to continue deliberating and that you not take the partial verdict. No modified Allen charge. The judge says, would the defense request I bring the jury out to say that? Ignifilo says after conferred with Combs, he says yes. The judge says, okay, email me your proposals each side. I'll wait. I could give a modified Allen charge, or at some point, I could tell them they could return a partial verdict. Email me, I'll wait. Then there's a break. What? How long ago was this? That was 11 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago that they took this break. Ciao. Shamina, why is he able to talk to his family every damn court day? He shouldn't. He mouthed stuff to them. I know he told his mom, also told her just to relax. And then he also told her that he liked her outfit. That was something else he told her today. Travis said they reached a verdict, but not on count 1. Juti said he can wear white. He's still dirty AF. Hey, Miss Moneypenny. Nia X. Back up in here. Okay. Missed y'all too. Nia X said, that's right. And before Independence Day. That's right. Shamina said, hopefully they get the Allen charge to keep deliberating for a full week. So that's how that works. Nia said, whoa, let's hear the pre-verdict. What's count 1 again? Oh, yeah. Okay, let's look at the counts again. Hold on. Let me pull up CNN. They had a pretty good breakdown of everything. Look at Nick at night up on the front of CNN. Get it, girl. Okay, let's see. Jurors in Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial say they have reached a verdict on 4 of the 5 counts, but they cannot reach a verdict on count 1, which is the racketeering conspiracy. Count 1 is racketeering. Ay. Okay, so the charges. Okay, let me look that up real quick. Here it says Combs 55 is charged with 5 counts, 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 each of trafficking and transportation to engage in selling of sex. If found guilty of the most serious charges, he could face up to life. Now, I wanted to see the actual. Hold on. They also have more details about the lawyers over here too. So that's looks like that's the update. We're waiting. The note has a couple of lines of handwriting on it. We're waiting to learn more. And I guess that was what it was with regard to the verdict so far. Counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, but not 1. Wait. Let me go on X. We're going to get down to the bottom of this. They better not leave today. They better today and get this thing done. Done. Okay. I told y'all my prediction was Wednesday. It could be Tuesday, only because it was so much information. But yesterday they let us know that the charts that they made and all these like heavy duty analysis records weren't going to be given to the jury for the jury room. So, I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know if they could ask for it. When I heard that, I thought, okay, well, maybe it won't take as much time because, you know, that was the information that I thought they were going to be asked to go through. Okay, let's see. Who am I going to, let me see if she has this update. So they're saying Diddy is sitting with his head down. This was 20 minutes ago. Diddy sitting with his head down, his hands interlocked in his lap. His whole team stands shielding him from the eyes of the public. Xavier Donaldson is leaning over of the table. So I'm assuming he's very unhappy because for them to say we have verdicts on these things, except for one. Now, could all those other verdicts be no, not guilty? We have not guilties, but we can't decide on one. Or is it we have some guilty, some not guilty, and we just can't decide on the racketeering? How can they not decide on the racketeering? They only needed, I believe, 2 of the predicates, and those were clear. Okay, let's see. Somebody, okay, so she said day 2 may not bring a verdict. Let me switch the tab.
The one thing his defense attorneys certainly did a masterful
of this play out. Very dramatic testimony over these weeks. She's outside the federal courthouse in Manhattan with the latest. Hi, CB.
Hey, Martha. Well, among the testimony jurors wanted to review are the details ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura shared on the witness stand about Diddy assaulting her at a Los Angeles hotel back in 2016. The incident captured in this disturbing hotel surveillance video. All parties agreed today to give jurors Cassie's testimony about the days before and the days after the brutal beating. The judge also allowed her testimony describing her 2024 Instagram post about the incident to be shared with jurors. In that post,
I can't be showing this. I can't believe they're not covering this up. I can't really show that. But okay.
May remember she said, quote, domestic violence is the issue. Jurors also wanted to review testimony from male escort Daniel Phillip,
Daniel Phillip,
who testified early in the trial that he was paid hundreds to thousands of dollars to have sex with Cassie while Diddy washed. Phillip also testified that at least twice he saw or heard Diddy abuse Cassie.
Remember, Mark Ignifilo, I think during his closing said no one was paid for for sex, but that guy testified he was actually paid for sex.
Prosecutors say
and he saw the abuse.
testimony from him and 33 other people proves Diddy used his fortune, fame, and fear to create a criminal enterprise that abused and coerced women into drug-fueled sex parties called freak-offs. But Diddy's defense team insists all the sexual encounters were consensual and that the case is, quote, badly exaggerated.
I think there's a lot of appealable issues. I think that's the one thing his defense attorneys certainly did a masterful job at, was preserving issues for appeal, because a lot of evidence was that's not relevant to what Diddy was charged with. Remember, he's not on trial for every horrible thing that he did as an adult male.
So deliberations are expected to go until 5 p.m. local time unless jurors ask or there's a verdict. Martha, back to you.
Yeah, CB, it's interesting when you look at these charges as the jury is considering these charges, and the video that you just showed that is horrific of Cassie Ventura being kicked and beaten by Diddy in the hallway, that's obviously something that they have seen with their own eyes. Which category of these charges does that moment fall under? Because they'll have to deal with these charges one at a time.
So great question, Martha. There are 5 racketeering crimes under the racketeering conspiracy charge, and prosecutors say that brutal 2016 beating is an instance of sex trafficking that could be considered by jurors to be a racketeering crime. They told jurors in their closing arguments it's an example of how anytime Cassie tried to get away, Diddy or a member of his inner circle drag her back.
CB, thank you very much. We're watching closely. Obviously, if you get a verdict, we'll go right.
So that's why I don't understand why the racketeering, who's holding out on the racketeering? Okay. Somebody's holding out. And this guy, he's a criminal defense attorney. They seem to all side or agree with Agnifilo and what they're doing over there. But I don't know. He says that a lot of evidence came out that is appealable because it had nothing to do with his charges. I haven't seen evidence of that, though. Okay, let me see if there's any updates. "4:54 p.m. in the well of the courtroom. Everyone but Donaldson is in their seat waiting. Sean Combs is leaning back, his legs crossed. He does not look happy." I guess that was the last update. Yikes. Okay, so I don't know, y'all. You think this thing is going to come in today? I mean, it's literally clock on East Coast is when they have said that the jurors are dismissed. And but the jurors can stay late if they choose. So if they feel like they're close, wouldn't they stay? Okay, let's see. Shamina said most defendants can't talk to family or anyone in court. He's getting special treatment. Nia said, nah, guilty on all. Exaggerated. Oh, you're talking about what the guy said, probably. 20 years for each count, Wild Wayne said. Nia says, we all saw the hotel video. Well, I didn't because I always look away, but still, nothing exaggerated. I agree with that. Not breaking news, y'all. You said you think tomorrow, Miss Moneypenny? Okay. Well, that would have been my prediction. I said Wednesday, child. But he's going to get some time. I don't feel like they're going to be like, oh, we made decisions on 2, 3. Matter of fact, I did want to do that before we leave. I want to see what exactly do they have decisions on. Let me see. Let's see. They repeat the charges as if we need to know. Oh, maybe I know where to go. Hold on.
Tuesday morning. A lot of questions about my thoughts on hung juries and things of that nature and possibly what's happening.
Oh, wait. I wanted to see something current. I'm looking for Kadisha. There we go. We need the update.
Diddy trial suspense is getting real because the Diddy trial jurors just reached a verdict for counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. In their note, they also said that they have not reached a verdict for count 1, which is the RICO charge. They all want the jury to keep on deliberating for count 1 because they don't want a mistrial to have to bring Diddy back and be retried just for RICO all over again. Diddy's lawyers, the prosecution, and the judge are talking about wording to tell the jury to go back and continue deliberating on charge number 1, which is RICO. So the jurors haven't came out and told us their verdicts on count 2, 3, 4, and 5 yet. Be prepared. It is going to be coming very, very soon. Little clarification. Count 2 is the trafficking of Cassie Ventura. Count 3 is the invitation to engage in prostitution, which considers Cassie Ventura. Count 4 is the trafficking of Jane, and count 5 is the transportation to engage in prostitution, including Jane and others. And honestly, the second that Diddy read this note out, he literally put his hand in his head. So I have a feeling that he is not feeling good that they reached a verdict. No, I am on it. I am watching it so closely. And honestly, the suspense is killing me because I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
In the comments. Oh my God. Let's see what some of these comments say. Girl, when I saw this, I ran to your page. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I've always heard the quicker the verdict, the higher the chances of guilty. That's what I was going to say. They came back pretty quickly. And I'm pretty sure he would at least take the weekend, being that it's a long weekend at that. Somebody said, oh, we probably won't hear it till tomorrow. Somebody said, been refreshing your page. Oh my goodness, y'all. Okay, let's see what y'all are saying. Baby Yoda, verdict watch is nail biting. Ain't it though? Let's see. I need a proper voice audio sound thingy for this. Nail biting. Nia X, Pookie Daddy is mad because he saw those guilty ones. Okay, did he see all the boxes that were checked? Miss Mighty Penny. But after hearing, wait, I missed the first part of it. I think tomorrow, so did I, but after hearing what's going on today, I guess there's more to it. Andrew Staples, it might be a hung jury. Oh, come on, Andrew. No, we don't want no hung jury. Where are my tomatoes? Hey, Love Queen. Pufferfish is going to be found guilty on a few charges for sure. I don't think he's even prepared. Child, it don't sound like he's prepared at all, to be honest. Sounds like he was devastated by whatever he saw on that paper. Nia X said, don't let me be on the jury. You could have snuck on there. Oh, you sent me a message, Trav? Okay, I'll check that. Thank you for the bells. Juti, Diddy is not used to being helpless. Ha, ha, ha. Love that for him. Shout. That's to justice being served, child. Justice being served. Shamina said the judge can allow a partial verdict. He will encourage them to continue to deliberate before accepting a partial. So you're saying a partial is not like a temporary partial, it's like a permanent, we'll take whatever you got and that's it? Because somebody else said that it would hold over till next week if that's the case. That's interesting. The partial verdict, hey, as long as they're not all not guilties, we'll take that partial verdict. We will take it. So she said count 2 was trafficking for Cassie for the trafficking, and then 3 was the Mann Act, I think, for Cassie. Trafficking for Jane was 4, and the Mann Act for Jane and others was 5. So they already have their answers for 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I think those were the pretty clear guilties, honestly. But are those, I think, the lesser charges of the whole thing if it's not a part of the actual RICO? The racketeering is count 1, and that's what they're trying to decide on. I'm so curious as to why is it that they can't come to a unanimous vote on racketeering? What is going on? Okay.
Charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. It took a jury 2 days to find him guilty of all 9 counts. For NXIVM leader Keith Raniere, who was on trial for racketeering, sex trafficking, conspiracy, and other crimes, it took jurors less than 5 hours to return an all-count guilty verdict. Ghislaine Maxwell, known for her association with sex offender and financier Jeffrey Epstein, the jury in her federal trial for sex trafficking and conspiracy, taking 5 days to find her guilty on most counts.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant
The case of United States of America versus Sean Combs is now in the hands of a jury. 8 men and 4 women will decide 3 separate charges: racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation for the purposes of prostitution. In a jury room like this, the jurors will be poring over their notes, the evidence, the testimony. The only question left, how long will it take to reach a verdict?
So it's really just the RICO. Everything else they've decided on. I feel like he's guilty. They had to have found him guilty on the other 2, the Mann Act and the S trafficking. Okay. Shamina said yes. A partial verdict just means some counts have a verdict. If count 1 is hung, the feds can retry only on that count. Got it. Okay, that's actually a little reassuring. Juti said guilty for sure. You see, they said R. Kelly took 2 days, child, to give him, and then he got 30 years. And Keith Raniere 5 hours, and he got sentenced 120 years, in case y'all didn't know, for that cult he was running. So it's very possible that this man, despite his billions or however much money he has left at this point, and his connections and resources, pull and influence, can still get serious time. Juti said he can stress over that tonight. He's definitely not going to have a good night's sleep if this thing is, it doesn't look like they're going to come back today. Let me refresh this real quick. Yeah, I don't see any updates. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there are updates. At 5:01 p.m., the judge says, I received each side's proposal. Mr. Ignifilo, your proposal, there is not much there. Ignifilo says, we're not remotely at the place where the jury needs more to deliberate efficiently. They are remarkably efficient. They already have 4 verdicts. The judge says, I wouldn't call the government's proposal an Allen charge. It reminds the jury of the instruction I previously gave on the duty to deliberate. I could simply recite from the jury charge. Ignifilo says, we're not at that point yet. I'm not saying we wouldn't be at the point on Thursday, July 3rd or Monday. Let's wait and see. I knew it. They're trying to stretch this thing out. I'm putting stock in that they have reached verdicts on 4 counts. The judge says, I'm going with that, but I may have more later. I may gave more later. I guess he meant have. The judge says, I could tell them that they could return on July 3rd. We could arrange that. What do you parties think? What do the parties think? Comey says, we'd like to give them the option to deliberate on the 3rd. Ignifilo says, on second, Your Honor. 1 second, Ignifilo says. 1 second. The judge says, yes. That was 1 minute ago. Ignifilo says, our preference is that you don't tell them now about Thursday. The downside is that the jurors might feel rushed to react to a verdict to avoid the Thursday issue. Let them deliberate tomorrow. You could ask at the end of tomorrow. Oh, brother. I was hoping they would be done with this thing today. But tomorrow is the day I predicted. Okay, don't forget that. I'm going to remind you of that every second. Okay, so this is just happening. Just trying to see what's going to happen. Because I need answers before we leave this thing today. So Ignifilo says, let's not rush him. And he does have a point. And it's true that if he were to say, listen, we can, you guys can take your time. We have tomorrow, we have Thursday, we have Monday after the holiday weekend. Maybe they'll just kind of go, or do they just want to get this thing over with? If I was a juror, I would want this done. I don't want to come back after the holiday. I don't want to do any more of these trips down to this courthouse, deal with these crazy people and this weird energy, sitting in this courtroom, hearing all this weird shit about this weird man. I'm done. Okay. So if I was a juror, I definitely want to put my foot on the gas when it comes to ending this thing. So Mark Ignifilo had a point when he said they're going to feel rushed, because I know I would. Like, you can't even get out your mouth coming back on the 3rd before I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm not holding out no more. He might have to get one not guilty, because I'm not going to hold this up. All right. Still nothing. Okay, so the judge says, the defense would have no objection to them deliberating on July 3rd. Ignifilo says no objection if they want to. The judge says, okay, let's bring back our jury. Okay, they're bringing out the jury. Let me see what some of these comments say while we're waiting on the jury. Somebody says, defense, why not just let them be hung on RICO? And they can recharge him on it if that's the case too, I think. As Shamina said. Amber Speaks Up says, defense is betting on the jury's progress so far. They've moved quickly and wants to hold off on extra pressure. Judge is keeping options open, including possibly bringing them back July 3rd to keep working if needed. Breaking this down if you want to follow me for more. Okay. Somebody said, why not tomorrow? I mean, I think tomorrow is included, but I think he's trying to say you have the rest of the week. They keep asking, so are they off tomorrow? Yeah, so somebody says this means they still will deliberate tomorrow and not rush the deliberations thinking of the holiday. The court would be open on Thursday for them to deliberate. Yeah, I think the judge wanted the court to be closed on the 3rd. That was his personal thing, but the court is still going to be open. Okay, so bringing out the jury. The Diddy docket. So this is sufficient time for jurors to decide if they already plan to have Thursday off. Also, he was going to close Thursday and Friday, and just in case, but now they're saying let's just keep open Thursday, because they could just end it on Thursday. Why have them come back over the holiday? Nobody wants this hanging over the whole holiday weekend. And Diddy might, because he probably knows it's bad news. He probably think he could conjure up some candle magic or some type of spells on the jurors. He gonna get his last looks on those jurors before he goes back to his cell so he could burn their memory of their faces in his head and do his little magic, his little dark magic. Let's call him Little Dark. Okay, so the judge brings the jury back in. All rise. The jurors enter. The judge says, "Welcome back. I received your note that you have verdicts on counts 2 through 5. I asked you to continue deliberating, discuss, weigh, and your respective opinions dispassionately, and follow my instructions on the law. Keep doing your job. We almost home. We are almost home, people." Okay, I'm just refreshing. Okay, let me go over to Instagram. I did want to, there were some TMZ stories I was going to pull up because TMZ obviously are working with the defense. So Gina Hun, the missing witness who really would have put this case to bed had she testified. She's the one who sat with Tasha K and gave that grueling interview about how much Diddy abused her, yet she would not show up to court. Well, anyway, apparently TMZ caught her outside. And I'm pretty sure this was a planted story because she's like at a random Whole Food store out in Las Vegas. And TMZ just happened to catch her in the parking lot. I don't think so. But it's just interesting what she had to say. Oh, I think an ad is going to come up. Let's let the ad pass, y'all. Yes, we do subscribe to Hulu. I have too many subscriptions. The whole point of me doing subscriptions was to not have to pay for cable no more, y'all. Now I have my subscriptions are starting to outweigh what my cable bill used to be. Three, two.
Hi, Gina. How you doing? I have a quick question for you. You think Diddy's gonna win this trial? Before you go, that's what I want to know. If Diddy does win this trial, do you think your life will be threatened in any kind of way? You don't think so? You think everything will be safe? Because the girl Aubrey O'Day, she said that if Diddy wins, she's gonna leave the country.
I mean, he never did anything dangerous to me. I'm not scared.
You're not scared? Okay, well, appreciate that. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Okay.
I was wondering which car she finna get into, the BMW or the Hyundai or the Camry, whatever that was. I was really curious. She got in that BMW. I'm like, oh yeah, she's still getting Diddy money. Okay, that was Gina. Talking about I'm not scared. And you could see the look on her face. She was made to do that. It's very obvious to me that she was made to do that. I might have to run that one back. Let's see. Did I let you do that? Let's see. Oh, let's see what they say.
Which monitor is it? It's that one. Okay. So you're going. Are they going into? Are they in commercial for safety?
Diddy is. Let's see what they say. Diddy's one step closer to learning his fate, because the jury in this federal criminal trial says they have reached a verdict on 4 or 5 counts. They don't have a verdict on the racketeering conspiracy charge. He's huddling with his lawyers. Okay, where he's been the past 7 weeks. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they did say they have jurors on each side of the count for count 1. They have jurors on each side. Oh my God. Okay, let me go to their little hip hop because that's apparently where all the black stuff is.
The last half hour, literally, when they said the verdict was in, I was on my way to the bathroom, and I okay. Can I? Yeah.
Okay. 50 Cent, Ja Rule, 20, 30 years later, still going back and forth. That's crazy. Halle Bailey is out there. She's outside again with a new dude. And it's interesting to me that this story comes out about her when DDG has stories about him finally being able to see his son. And I think they're doing that to make her look like, see your son because I'm busy. Oh yeah, Tony Busby got that lawsuit dismissed from Jay-Z against him, which was a big win for him. I mean, he needed this win, Tony Busby, child. And now he's talking about he's gonna go after Jay-Z. As he should. I mean, if that's what you do for a living, why wouldn't you? Okay, I wanted to run this Gina video back again. Oh, we gotta go through. You guys are no, they got money. Okay. So tomorrow we're gonna have something. I told y'all Wednesday. You gotta learn how to listen. Your girl's not gonna steer you wrong. We gotta see this Gina clip again because this is too suspect. Like, seriously, girl. And you trying to look annoyed. You know good and well this was planned.
Hi, Gina. How you doing? I have a quick question for you. You win this trial? Before you go, I just what I want to know. If Diddy does win this trial, do you think your life will be threatened in any kind of way? No. You don't think so? Be safe because the girl, she said that if Diddy wins, she's gonna leave the country.
I mean, he never did anything dangerous to me. I'm not scared.
You're not scared? Okay, well, I appreciate that. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
He should have asked her about that Tasha K interview. Look at that look on her face. Like, thank you for doing this for me. Like, she needed to do something. But I feel like she definitely was told to go do something to put the put a good light on him. It is stressful. It's not funny, but I have to laugh, child. Shamina said, without the Allen charge, if the jury remains hung on count 1, deliberations must continue. Okay. Shamina said she's full of it. Jean said Gina was paid off like $2 million or something. Oh, I believe that. You can't say that after spilling all the tea to Tasha K. Exactly. That's my whole point. Like, something should have been able to open the door to that interview. I'm pretty sure they would love to have been able to play that interview to the jurors. Gina, you a damn lie. You should be ashamed of yourself. That man kicked and stomped you. Juti says, I hope you're right. Okay. Shamina says, I don't think that's a win for Tony. Oh, you don't think so? It being dismissed? In the footnotes of that order, the judge said the higher notes. Well, I definitely didn't read the footnotes. So the higher courts really need to give a decision on whether his decision is correct. So you're saying that it's going to go to a higher court, and the judge was basically trying to say that's where you're going to fix this decision that I made. I don't know. I find it a win. I find any kind of dismissal, the person on the other side of the dismissal is a win for the getting a dismissal, is how I feel. So if something happens after this with this, then that's a whole other case, a whole other page in the book, in my opinion. Okay. I guess that's it for today then. They're gonna be back tomorrow. I mean, I'm hoping by the time I get up, I'm 3 hours behind the East Coast. So I'm hoping I wake up to the headlines. I'm hoping so. But I appreciate y'all, of course. And as always, it's already Tuesday and it's already July. Can you believe that? Shout out to my cancers. Wild Wayne got a birthday tomorrow, y'all. So we're gonna be making sure we give him a lot of high vibes and good energy tomorrow for his birthday. Exactly. And we are definitely sighing about this damn verdict not being in today. But like I said, I told y'all, I think on Friday, I'm looking at Wednesday. So we'll see. You guys have an amazing rest of your day. And till next time. And I should have played, God dang it, what's her name's video, which I still can. If you still here, some people, as soon as that's me, as soon as I hear somebody say I'm out, I'm clicking off. But if you still here, we got to go out on Miss Black Letter Law. We got to find the video. Where is it? Yeah.
See the racketeering. Yes, he's done some stuff that's freaky and wild, but I don't see the racketeering. Yes, he'll beat a woman to a bloody pulp, and he may grab her by her throat, but you got to remember he's the GOAT, so I still don't see no racketeering. Yes, he does ecstasy and other drugs. Yes, he'll kick a girl in her ribs and give her head a thud. He may use his team to do some things like kidnap you, arrange a freaky rendezvous, use a bit of robbery with a sprinkle of extortion, and work you till you drop. Wait, is this the racketeering? Could this be the racketeering? I think it's the racketeering. Yes, this is the racketeering. He's just a little freaky and a little wild, but you want us to remember he's God's child. He likes to slip and slide and get a little wild, but you want us to remember he's God's child. But I can see the racketeering. Yes, I can see the racketeering. This is the racketeering. I don't see the racketeering.
Yeah, shout out to Afi Patterson Esquire, aka the Black Letter Law, for that one. Okay, that's right, Nia. Okay, Shamina says if Jay-Z appeals it, then the appeals court will rule on whether that decision will stand or be reversed. The judge wasn't confident in his decision. Got it. Yeah, no, I know what the appeals court does. I was just saying, as of now, as the person on the other side of that dismissal, that's a win for them. I mean, if that it gets overturned and gets reversed, then that's what happens, child. And I'm just saying, in the moment, you got to live in the moment. But listen, I don't see how they couldn't see this racketeering. We should have been able to show them this video, this cartoon video in very simple terms: extortion, bribery. Maybe it's not that they can't decide on whether or not it's a RICO. Maybe it's that they don't agree on the predicates that go with the RICO. Maybe that's it. Or maybe they said people on each side. It could be some that don't agree with one of the, it could be like, oh no, we don't think that happened. Or it could just be that they can't decide on which ones, but yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. I'll see y'all, hopefully, God willing, tomorrow. Till then, peace.